Hello again, Misfits. This is Anthony again with another 1-minute review, and this time we're taking a look at Whirling Witchcraft. This has been a favorite actually at the Misfits HQ lately. Actually, we've been having a ball with this game, and it kind of emulates a few different video games like Tetris, you could say, where basically you are creating recipes that give you blocks. And this is kind of what you're making as you go along in your cauldron. You're basically putting these blocks in your cauldron, passing them to the person on your right. They put it into their little holding area that has a certain limit on how much you can hold. And what happens is the idea is you're supposed to put enough over there that they can't hold it because they each have an individual spot to hold things. So if they get too much, those become points for you. So you're kind of creating this weird stacking game where you're kind of stacking up specific colors and trying to outwit the person to your right while the person to your left is also doing the same to you. It's a really, really awesome game, but we're going to get into the actual review and meat and potatoes of this game. You already know that I love this game already, so I was saying that from the outset. So the theme, first of all, Whirling Witchcraft has a really cool, cute witchcraft theme, and it does a very good job of it. From your little cauldrons, they could have just had you pass it to somebody on the left or put it on a card or something silly, but they actually give you these cute little cauldrons that you dump the output or your alchemy into, your little frogs and toads and things like that it represents, and you pass it to the right. So they really nailed kind of the feel of it, that you're actually kind of creating these components, and they have your little spells on recipe cards that actually look like little recipes on like scrolls. So they really did a good job in capturing the theme. Very, very on point. Little animated characters that when you pick your character are very, very cute. Did a good job with that. Even the box is pretty nice. It kind of has this weird kind of very mystically looking cover. Just they did a very, very, very solid job. Looking at it, you actually probably wouldn't know what the game is about. So they almost nailed it too much on point, but it is a very, very cool theme that they did. Components are solid. Nothing too crazy, mind you, but very, very good, especially for a game in this price range. The most complex thing you have is the cauldrons, which are kind of a cardboardy thing, and they're decently made. They're just, you know, a cardboard thing you kind of put together. They do have a tendency to come apart a little bit, especially with continued play. And you know, I see them maybe taping some of this stuff maybe in the future. So nothing too crazy. The boards are sturdy though. They're definitely solid, and the cards are definitely laminated enough. You have standard cubes, you know, for your thing. I mean, nothing crazy component-wise, nothing that's, you know, going to blow you away, but it serves its purpose and it does what it's supposed to do. They're definitely not bad, and they're definitely solid, but nothing too crazy. Just solid component use for kind of a game of this price range, I think. Could they have added more? Maybe. They could have maybe give you plastic cauldrons and maybe embellished it, but honestly, I don't think you really need to. For this kind of game, I think this works quite well. Complexity. The funny thing about this, it actually took us a hot minute to learn this game because looking at it, it actually, once you start playing it, it actually isn't really very complex. However, as you go along in the game, you're making multiple recipes and doing multiple things, and keeping track of stuff kind of becomes a little bit more demanding as you go along. And for a player who maybe is new to the games or whatever, this can be a little bit much. But honestly, once you get going, you breeze through the game. So complexity kind of has that curve where it's like, it's got a little speed bump in the beginning that you kind of have to hit the gas over, you know, but once you get past it, you're sailing. So the complexity is not bad, but it has that initial bump you kind of have to sail over. The downtime for this game doesn't exist. Literally doesn't exist. Everybody on their turn does stuff simultaneously. You're passing stuff to the right and left and everything. Sometimes you might have a hold up while people think about cards to decide, but there's no downtime in this game at all. You want a fast-paced game that's going to be fun. This is it. And that goes actually into our next thing. Fun. Is the game fun? This game is a blast, guys. It's a silly game. It really is, but it's a blast. And I can't really think of too many of the games like this. Can you, hon? Any other? No, not really. There's really not too many games that kind of mix a little bit of puzzle with you know, this competitive sort where you're also handing your cards to the left of the person left of you. So you not only are, you know, messing with the person on your right, but you're choosing a card not only that you got to use, but you're also got to keep in mind of the cards that you're handing over to the person on your left that is going to be the one that screws you. So there's a lot to do in this game, and it's really fun because it really makes you think, and it's really, really very challenging having to think of the person on your right and left and the game as a whole to come out with a win. It's very surprising and very complex for such a light game. I really, really love it. Now, this game, again, this game is just fun. It's pure fun, and it's a silly, silly game that you wouldn't think would work, but actually works perfectly and hits the, I mean, when Misfit Eugene comes over, he always demands we play this game, and nobody argues. It's a great warm-up game. It's a great wind-down game. absolutely get it for your collection. It's very worthy of your shelf space. And this is for anybody from a family on up. I think families might have a little trouble with that speed bump, but otherwise, it's awesome. And it definitely gets a 2 cauldrons up, maybe an inverted cauldron. I don't know. Definitely gets cauldrons though. Because you're going to be using these the entire time, guys. Definitely pick this game up. It is a lot of fun, and it will definitely surprise you. So thanks again, guys, for coming out for my review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, guys. We really appreciate it. And don't forget to game on.